Alright, today I'm going to show you how to build this mod for your mouse. It's a rapid fire. So as soon as I hit that red button, it automatically clicks at a pretty high rate of speed. It's hooked up to a 555 timer, and I'll show you how to wire that. But just to give you an idea how fast it is, as soon as I start, it's going to count down from 10, and it'll see how many clicks it gets in 10 seconds. So here we go. I'm holding down that button and it's just clicking on its own. 140 clicks in 10 seconds. So that's pretty fast. And I'll show you what you need to build this. You will need to go to RadioShack, get yourself some pack of 1 kilo ohm resistors. Just like that. There's the model number if you really need that. And this is a pack of 10 kilo ohm resistors. Again, the model number right there. They're only about 99 cents each. You're going to need this main chip. This is the 555 timer. And notice the little dot in the upper left hand corner. Take note of that. That's marking the ground designation pin. And you'll also need one of these. This is a 8-pin socket, IC socket for that. The timer fits in it, and we use one of these so the solder doesn't. When you're soldering the connections, it doesn't booger up the 555 timer, so don't have the timer in there while you're soldering the leads to that. And that was kind of the hardest part. I couldn't find this at RadioShack. I had to call around. So, and you also need some solder, a soldering iron, and some pliers probably, and a little screwdriver, a button switch. This is a normally open switch with 2 leads coming out. This is the smallest one I could find. And you also need a 4.7 UF capacitor. I don't have that here, it's in my mouse. I used the only one I had. So after you take the mouse apart, there it is. There's the device I made. Terrible looking solder, very crazy, but I have enough space in my mouse that it doesn't hit anything, so it's fine if it just dangles there. You can put it wherever you want, I suppose. So I'll show you how to wire that. I know that's kind of hard to see. So this is what I'm going to show you. Okay. Now if you go to www.instructables.com and find Rapid Fire Mouse, he explains how to build this, and he gives you a set of schematics that are a little bit tricky to follow if you don't pay close attention. And I've drawn one out on how exactly mine's wired from the store. So there's your 555 timer. Remember that dot in the upper left hand corner designates the ground. And the way I've drawn this out, there's the dot, and it'd be facing down just like it is, and that's how you wire it. So first, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't use 4 or 5. So the first thing I did was get a small chunk of wire, which I cut a piece of old phone cord and ripped out. There's 2 wires of red and green. I ripped those out and used those just because I had some lying around. So you go ahead on the number 1 or number 2 and just cut you off a chunk of wire and solder it to the number 2 connection and the number 6 connection. Just make a jumper wire. And from there I took my capacitor and there's a positive and negative on the capacitor. I believe the short wire is the negative side, so make sure you get the negative side going to the number 1 ground, and that gets grounded to the mouse. I'll show you that later. The positive side gets soldered to number 2, same one you put your jumper wire on, so it's going to kind of be jumbled in there. And this wire here comes from your 10 kilo ohm resistor. That gets soldered to number 2 also, so you have 3 wires soldered to the number 2 connection. And the number 10, the other side of the number 10, doesn't matter which side you go, gets soldered to number 7. And there's 2 wires on number 7. There's the 1 kilo ohm resistor wire and the 10 kilo ohm resistor wire. They both get soldered to 7. The other side of the 1 kilo ohm resistor wire gets soldered to number 8, along with another length of wire which you run remotely to your positive on your mouse. So there's 2 solder connections on number 8. And that's basically it. Number 3, you just run a length of wire, goes to one side of your switch. That little guy, that switch. And the other side gets run to your mouse, your left click button, and I'll show you where to put that. So if you want to get a good picture of that, you can look at that. Okay, here's the mouse after I took it apart, and you can work this circuit board up and out. Here, let me get it. There we go. Okay, the scroll wheel just comes right out, and it's pretty simple. Basically, I've burned a hole through the side of the mouse where my thumb's going to sit with a soldering iron and inserted the switch. One side of the switch goes to your timer, and the other side of your switch goes to right here where your left mouse button clicks, and it's the one that when you click it gets power to it, because that's when you click the button. And the way you can find that is, see the current path, you follow it clear down to the mouse processor. So this one's in the middle, but not all of them are probably the same, but that's how you check that. Then the wires coming in from the computer, there is a blue, a red, a black, and a purple. The black one's ground, the red one's power. And you have a ground and a power coming from your 555 timer. So you just solder in your positive, that red one, and your ground. That's the green one, and the black one green comes from my 555 timer. That's the ground. And all you got to do is set your soldering iron on top of the existing solder that's on the mouse and press your wire on, and hopefully you'll get a good connection. And that's it. All you got to do is put your mouse back together and test out to see if it works. And hopefully this will help you if you really want to build this. It only costs about $3, and it's really good for if you have a pistol on any game, you can fire it pretty fast. So fast enough. It's about as fast as you can click just with your finger, but all you have to do is use your thumb so you can steady your hand better, and you won't get in trouble for it because it's not a software hack. It's just a mechanical switch basically, and so it works pretty good. Alright.